thought I'd share the evolution of the floating sky structure concept in my world building project. I've been wanting to talk about this topic as an example of how an idea can evolve, grow, and generate other ideas. I feel these interconnected webs of ideas and concepts can help the depth in your world. First of all, floating islands are just cool. Many works of fiction I find super inspiring. The animated Dragon Hunters movie, the Hallelujah Mountains in Avatar, the Sky City in Flash Gordon with the Hawkmen, Cloud City in The Empire Strikes Back. All of these include the concept in their storylines. So naturally, I wanted to have floating sky islands in my world building project, AlphaCore. But I at least wanted a remotely plausible explanation to how a solid mass could float in the atmosphere of a planet without an advanced technology like anti-gravity drive or some sort of extreme magic. I quickly moved away from a solid dirt and rock landmass to a hollow lattice interior structure like those found in bird bones. I also took inspiration from how ships and balloons float. I didn't want a water world, but if the inside of the structure could be filled with a lighter than air gas that was also warmer than the outside atmosphere, it'd add to the overall buoyancy of the structure. So with these starting ideas, they're like bird bones, filled with lighter than air gas that can be warmed up. I started to ask how and why this could happen. Early on, I thought it'd be cool if plants grew vertically on the structures and delivered gases from higher in the planet's atmosphere. But why would these plants be incentivized to grow higher? What evolutionary reason? One of the central concepts of AlphaCore is that there's this cosmic energy source that flows from star system to star system. What if the plants sought out this energy source for their growth? What if the energy source is stronger the higher up you go? Maybe a planet's atmosphere blocks the amount of energy that reaches the surface, so these species of plant has adapted to grow higher by seeking out and consuming the lighter gases to help them climb. I wasn't 100% on this. It seemed a bit far-fetched for a plant to evolve this out of nowhere and also be efficient enough to lift a solid structure. But it seemed cool. Instead of completely writing it off, I dug deeper. What if a sentient species cultivated this plant, trained it to grow from structure to structure, and consciously worked with the plant to make the system more efficient? I still felt like I had a chicken and the egg issue. How did the sentient species first start cultivating the climbing plants? Was there a solid ground down there somewhere that these structures would first be at, and somehow these sentient beings would figure out how to make them float and organize around this? It felt extremely wishy-washy. But I couldn't shake the idea, and it kept rolling around in my head, and at some point I thought, what if the structures were migrating beings that traveled this cosmic energy source? This opened up all sorts of ideas and possibilities. These beings are attracted to planets for the nutrients in their atmosphere and actually have biological systems to ingest the atmosphere, thus filling the interior with the higher atmospheric gases while they process the nutrients. This keeps them afloat. What if there is an evolutionary benefit here? The sick and weak can't escape the planet's atmosphere, thus are weeded out. Bringing back the sentient species that live in the sky structures, what if they came to the planet with the migrating beings? So instead of a single organism, the migrating beings are actually a collection of organisms, kind of like a coral reef. And over time, the sentient beings and the vining plants evolved to more efficiently control the altitude and stability of the sky structures to seek out the optimal atmosphere. This opens up possibilities for harsher climates or dangerous creatures at different altitudes in the planet's atmosphere. And since the sentient species, given the name Atiri, have always been part of the floating island's biological system, they are deeply connected and have mechanisms to grow and harvest the structure's internal material. The vining plants I've called Grimsum not only help deliver higher atmospheric gases, but also supply the raw materials needed for the structures to continually grow. Tying these different concepts together brings much more depth to the idea of the floating islands than simply flying land masses that people live on. Well, I hope this gives you some inspiration to build depth into your own ideas and give them room to grow and mature. Thanks for your time. Cheers.